$10 XRP or a $1 XRP? I'm going to tell you what would need to happen for XRP to tumble down to $1 and what would absolutely, definitely need to happen for XRP to rally up to $10. Put in the comment section, is XRP more likely to go to $1 or $10? While you're there, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let's get started. This is XRP on the 12-month. Guys, the last 3 years, XRP's been in an uptrend, although this year you see this massive doji, a lot of indecision, getting as high as $3.70, as low as $1.24. And I think the next 2 years are going to be a make or break year for XRP. Let's start with, well, what if XRP fails? What if it crashes all the way down to $1? What if it bleeds all our portfolios out? I'm a holder of XRP myself. Well, we're kind of starting to see a little bit of why people are fearful that it is going to go to $1. You're seeing a lot of these banks create their own stable coin, create their own layer ones. You see the likes of Circle and Stripe come out with their own L1s to settle payments. And in turn, a lot of them have their own stable coins. And so where does XRP fit in? A lot of the reason people were so bullish on XRP 7 years ago, 10 years ago, a year ago, was payments, global remittance, global payments. Now they have their own stable coin that should tie in and it should help the XRP price. And then you're seeing headline after headline after headline of the banks, the same banks, deciding to go their own way and not really incorporating anything with XRP. And so people are starting to say, that's not good, is it? Is that the whole value proposition of XRP? If that is the entire value proposition of XRP, then yes, I would lean towards XRP going down to $1 and really making everyone broke, or the people that hold XRP broke. But I'm going to give you the base case or the bull case of why it could potentially go to $10. And well, let's start here.
Man, this always happens. An 11 against a 4. Okay, you know what? All right, let's go. Come on. Stop what you're doing. 11 against a 4. Hit or stay?
Hit.
Antoine, stop what you're doing. 11 against a 4. Do I double or do I hit? Hit. Gina, stop what you're doing. You're the final vote. 11 against a 4. Do I hit or do I double?
Hit.
All right, we're going to hit it. Make sure you download the stake app.
I think the stable coin's a big one. Now, whether every bank that gets into stable coins decides to integrate some form of RLUSD or they don't, maybe it's the crypto native companies that do it. I don't know. But take a look at this. This is posted on the Ripple homepage on X.
So we at BCG, we're super optimistic when it comes to stablecoins. By 2030, we estimated and expect that 2.5 to 3 trillion of US dollar will be in stablecoins.
Stablecoins are having a moment, and Ripple's RLUSD is having a moment. We believe those issuers that have the most enterprise-grade focus on regulation, compliance, and transparency will be those that prevail.
So, and I'm not saying that RLUSD is going to grab some sort of crazy 20, 30% market dominance over not only the native stable coins of the banks that are just launching or maybe competitors like Tether and USDC. But even a 5% market share, guys, we're talking trillions of dollars, even a 5% market share would tip the scales towards the $10 price prediction. Then you have stuff like this, right? Being integrated into Wall Street, right? We know the XRP spot ETF went live. And now this announcement from Bitwise. XRP, one of the world's longest running crypto assets with the potential to reshape how money moves worldwide, now is in the Bitwise top 10 crypto index ETF. So it's got its own ETF, standalone. It's got now included in the top 10 ETF. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more basket ETFs, payment, infrastructure, custody, RWA, and I think XRP is going to be a staple in all of those. And so this is all potential buy pressure that could move the price up to that $10 target. Then you have XRP's vision outside of just payments, okay? Right, we talk about custody, we talk about tokenization, everything. So this is from the ripple.com. Building the one-stop shop for digital asset infrastructure. This piece was dropped 5 days ago, okay? 4 acquisitions, and I just want to briefly go over them. The G Treasury, right? Enterprise Treasury Intelligence. G Treasury, now a Ripple solution, will enable its enterprise customers the option to access digital asset infrastructure that can meet the speed and complexity demands of modern treasury operations. That is a big word this cycle, is treasuries, right? You've seen the acronym DAT, D-A-T, Digital Asset Treasuries. We're seeing it with Bitcoin. We're seeing it with Chainlink. We're seeing it with Ethereum. I think there's one with XRP. And now they're getting into that game. And can we see more digital asset treasuries for XRP? Or maybe it's the infrastructure for the ones that are launching other treasuries that Ripple's products and services can help with, more specifically G Treasury. That was one acquisition. Number 2, Rail, virtual accounts and stablecoin payments. The company's $200 million acquisition of Rail will make Ripple Payments the market's most comprehensive end-to-end stablecoin payment solution, compliantly connecting the best of fiat and digital assets so that businesses can move money faster, save costs, and build to grow. The question again, will these banks and institutions spend their own money and resources to build it themselves, or will they look at Ripple and say, wow, your product is great. Can we just integrate it? What do we got to pay? What do we got to do? The latter, obviously, would benefit the price of XRP the most. Rail simplifies everything from corporate collections to global treasury flows. That's another one. That's number 2. Number 3, Palisade, the high-speed digital asset custody. Palisade's wallet as a service technology extends Ripple's custody inherent appeal to banks and financial institutions to include fintechs, crypto-native firms, and corporates that carry out high-frequency transactions. Now, remember, they also bought Hidden Road. So and I think Ripple Prime, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but they've been in the custody game a little while, and they're just adding another element to it. And then Ripple Prime, here we go. Institutional liquidity and execution, formerly known as Hidden Road. Ripple Prime completes the liquidity and execution layer of Ripple's one-stop shop vision. Where Palisade custodies assets and Rail moves them, Ripple Prime ensures it can be traded efficiently, financed responsibly, and accessed through regulated channels. That's going to be the most important thing. And you see that word thrown out a lot, compliant, regulated, because if you're after the institutions and the banks, you got to be compliant and you got to be regulated. So there's a massive, massive focus on those 2 key words. And again, the question comes down to, will these services and the infrastructure that's already being built and that already is built, will the banks and institutions go with that, or will they spend the countless hours, resources, money to build out their own? For Ripple to get to $10, I think the former has to be true, where they realize these guys have been in the space a while. They got a big team. They got massive amounts of money funding, right? They have a shitload of XRP. Massive funding. They already have a bunch of acquisitions. They've been in the space a while. They got connections to the White House. They got connections to World Liberty Finance. This is the real deal. Let's integrate with them. If that happens, can we compare Ripple to Visa? Maybe, right? Visa, you think about payments, one-stop shop, back-end infrastructure. And hey, Visa right now, if XRP were to get to Visa's valuation, that's $10, a little over $10. If it gets to Visa's all-time high, that's $25. So can Ripple, the question then becomes, it's clear and concise, the vision of Ripple and what they want to do. The golden question then becomes, will it gain adoption? Will it take market share? If it does, nothing like 30, 40%. If it can get a 10% market share of stable coins, custody, infrastructure, and everything we just laid out, then I think $10 is like your low baseline, right? You can expect at least $10. Now, could this happen this year? No. Could it happen next year? Yes. Will it happen in 2027, 2020? I don't know. But if you're in XRP, I'd recommend you expand your time horizon, because it will pay off. If it doesn't, and the banks decide to do their own thing, and Ripple kind of just plays in the middle, then yeah, it could probably go to $1 maybe as early as the end of this year or early next year. Either way, if I was a betting man, I'd bet on $10. I think the Ripple team has proven themselves. And now with the legal troubles out of the way, it's completely up to them whether they can get people to buy into their products or not. I want to thank you so much for watching. We appreciate the support. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.